What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So we have something special today on Cryptechology. We're gonna talk about real estate, alright? We're gonna talk about real estate, say thanks to Grant Cardone and what he's done. I've purchased this book here, How to Create Wealth Investing in Real Estate. It's the home study manual. We're not going to go through all 107 pages, but we are going to go through the mechanics of a deal and how you can prepare yourself for the deal and your next real estate investment play. So, the mechanics of a deal. Understand the mechanics of cash flow over time and you'll make money. It's that simple. Number of units times cash flow plus time equals appreciation. That's what Grant's telling us. So let's kind of break that down a little bit more. Maybe I should bring in up a little whiteboard right here, because people like visuals and stuff like that, but I don't have one already set. I have a note section here. All right, we'll do that maybe next time. Okay. So, but number of units. Okay. So if you get like a multi-family apartment, a duplex, that could potentially have 4 units. Anything at 4 units and below, you can still use the single family home style of loans. You can do that FHA for the multifamily on duplexes and 4 units and below. 5 units and above will be considered commercial real estate and commercial properties. Okay, so understand that if you are looking at real estate, you have to understand that anything that you're purchasing that has 5 units or above, that's going to be in a different category and it's going to fall under commercial real estate. 4 units and below will allow you to use the residential strategy and for that type of loans and categorization. Okay, so cash flow. How much cash is generated each month? Now you may ask, well, how do I know that? How do I know how much cash is going to generate me? So, say for example, you have a duplex, right? You have 4 unit a place, okay, and the units is this is going to be a complete investment property. You're not using FHA and staying in one of them. I can tell you that strategy next. So it's a new investment property, okay? You got 4 units, right? And then you find out that each unit can rent out about $1,500 a month in rent for it. All right, so now we have 1,500 times 4. So where's my calculator? I don't have it. Let me see if I can just type this up for you guys, so we can look at the math together, okay? So here we go. So we have 1,500, okay? So 1,500 is the cost of rent, all right? And we have 4 units, so times 4, all right? So this is gonna bring in about $6,000 of rental income a month. However, this may not be the cash flow, full profitable cash flow. So let's just be aware of that, because you may have other expenses that may be deducted out of this 6,000 to take in consideration, but don't worry about that at this current moment in time. So now we have the number of units, okay, so which is 4, all right? Our cash flow, okay, so our cash flow is the rental cost per unit, all right? So we're going to say 1,500, all right? Oops, sorry. 4 times 1,500, okay? And then we got to say plus time. How long are we going to have this unit for, all right? So let's just say we're going to keep this for, I don't know, 3 years, all right? So if we're making $6,000 a month, all right? So $6,000 a month, all right? So for 4 years. So so we got, no, what did I say, 3 years. So we got 12 months, all right? So 12 months times 3, all right? So now we got 36 months. So it's going to be about 36 payments, all right? So that will be our time, okay? So we're going to do 4 times 1,500, okay? Well, I say, and then plus 36. All right, so that is the equal to the appreciation. Now let's see if I'm right with those calculations on that. Is that what the time they're looking for? This time may be a longer time period than what I calculated. So the most important things to know: cash flow is king. Cash flow can get you through all cycles. Just like we have seasons in life, all right? Seasons in the weather in certain areas of the globe. It's the same thing with what cash can do for you. All right, cash is an accelerator. All right, a cash is a helping hand. A cash is an employee. Cash is an asset. Cash is a tool, okay, for you to do the things that you want in life, to purchase investments, to purchase assets, or to purchase liabilities, all right, so, or to go on vacation, to create memories, to gather people, to obtain knowledge, to create a community, to clean up a park. I mean, cash can be used for a lot of things, all right? So that's why cash flow is king, because when you have cash flow, it allows you the ability to create options and to create opportunities. So you allow yourself to have options when you have cash flow, but not only do you have options, but you also have the ability to create opportunity for others. All right, and that's the part where you can give back. And that's really the best part about cash flow and about fiat, about cryptocurrency, okay, about financial responsibility. All right, because it's not just about intake. It's not just about what can I make, what can I earn, okay, how much can I do. It's not just that. It's what can I offer to the next man or woman? What can I do to impact someone else's life? Because you don't want to become half wise. Oh, you never heard of half wise? Well, half wise means that you are someone that obtains knowledge and then you keep all that knowledge for yourself. All right? See, knowledge is energy. Knowledge is words. And words are meant to be communicated out loud, because it is a frequency, it's a vibration. And that's why when we hear from mentors and we hear from others and influencers and motivational speakers, all right, a lot of people are saying speak out loud. Say what you want, okay? Speak it into the universe, all right? Create the vibration, create the frequency, all right? Allow people to feel how passionate you are about a certain topic or a certain category or about something you want to do for your community. Allow people to feel that frequency so they understand how authentic you are, okay? And all of this can really be created on a higher level, okay, on a compounding level when you have cash flow. Yes, is it possible to create this same exact thing with zero money? Yes, absolutely. All right. I don't want to sit there and try to say, oh, you need to have cash to be impactful to someone else in their life. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. All right. However, you do, if you want to create an impact, and so what cash flow will allow you to do with that is actually repeat it, okay? So it will allow you to take your blueprint, okay, and then give it to someone else, and they should be able to follow your blueprint and create success out of that, and then to the next, and to the next, to the next. And so that's really where the value comes in. Know how to analyze the cash flow of a property. Understand where the property is located. Understand a little bit about the community. Understand about the schools in the area. understand about the jobs in the area, understand how much people are making on an average annual salary in the area, okay? What type of vehicles are people buying and driving around in that area? All of these things can help you create, you know, a report about the area and analyze the property so you can go ahead and make a strategic decision. All right, so understand how to use cap rates to find great properties. All right, we're not going to get more into that. All right, so how to use debt coverage ratio, how to underwrite a loan. All right, know how lenders are different, how to negotiate with sellers, buyers, and tenants. That's a key one right there. How to negotiate with sellers, buyers, and tenants. How to communicate. How to use the right words. What are the right words to use? How do I know if I'm speaking correctly? How do I know if people are receiving my information? Is there a better way that I can communicate with the lender? Is there a better way I can communicate with the seller? Is there a better way I can communicate with my tenants so that I have a positive a positive reaction, or a positive receival of information, so I know that, all right, they understand my perspective, they understand what I'm trying to explain, or they understand what I'm trying to teach, or they understand my expectations as the homeowner. Okay, as a homeowner, as a property owner, you have to be intentional about your expectations to your tenants. You need to let them know exactly what they can and what they cannot do on your property. It is your property. And when you're filling out and you're creating your agreement and your lease, please take the time to list out the things that you expect. It may not be, common sense to everyone. It could be something like, hey, no, certain toiletries you cannot flush down the toilet. People overlook that and they think, oh, what, huh? Like baby wipes or something like that. You cannot flush that down the toilet. As a property owner, as a homeowner, after a while from flushing baby wipes down the toilet, it will clog up the sub pump in the basement. And eventually it won't pump out the water, and then it will create a I can't, I'm drawing a blank to the name of it. Is it the hole in the ground in the basement? All right, it will fill up where the sub pump is. That will fill up because the pump is obviously not working and it's not pumping out the water. All right, so that will eventually fill up, and when that fills up, we have water damage in the basement. We have leakage, and now, depending on the homeowner, that comes out of your pockets. Depending on the tenants, that could be, come out of your pockets. Additional rent could increase in the future because of that scenario. So this is something that, all right, maybe if we would have wrote this down in the lease agreement in the beginning to be a preventative measure, so you don't have to run into the expense of having to pay out someone to come clean out the sub pump, and that can really be a huge liability. All right, and then know how to calculate net operating income. All right, know all about real estate terms. Okay, so know the lingo, so you know how to communicate it. Okay, and understand how a deal works and how to exit. So I was just on, not just on, I was just watching Grant Cardone's YouTube live, and I was in the chat, and a lot of people were talking about, this, that, saying questions, having fun, some being a little interruptive, but it is what it is, okay? It's the internet. But something that stuck out to me was just that a lot of people obviously were hesitant about the information. Some people are just like, what is this? What am I learning? I've heard this before. This is nothing new. Or, this guy's just selling courses and blah, 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 blah. I'm just gonna let you guys know about something when it comes to knowledge, all right? It's not difficult. And what do I mean by that? It's not difficult is that we overwhelm ourselves because the educational system makes you believe that that any subject matter, any information is becoming a doctor or is becoming a an astrophysicist. I mean, if you're gonna be a brain surgeon or something like that, yes, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of memorization, there's a lot of hands-on, there's just a lot that goes with that. All right, okay. So, however, that is not for everything in life. Okay, and actually, in most careers and most jobs, it's really about really understanding the basics and the foundation and being able to regurgitate the information, the basics, easy over and over again. So having these conversations of what does a deal look like, how to search online, how to ask the right questions to the lender, what's the percentage for the down payment. It may seem super basic for someone that's heard it before, but that is literally the recipe. Because just like trading in the stock market, it's not about how intelligent you are, it's about how resilient you are. How many times are you willing to get up and try again? How many times are you willing to overcome the obstacles? How many times are you willing to fail so you can succeed? How many times are you willing to hang up your ego, your pride, so you can learn more and become a student of the game? That's what this is really about. All right. So when it comes to being repetitive, and also don't be selfish to think that no one in the world is being born. Every single day, new people are born into our society, into the community, and there's going to be someone that will need to hear the basics over and again. And for the veterans in the group, there's nothing wrong with listening to the basics again. And if you're someone that's telling people that, oh no, that's a waste of time, man, I feel bad for those that listen to you, because I'm not even going to get into that. All right, so then understand how a deal works and how to exit. Okay, that's important as too. What are you going to do when it comes to trading? Okay, when you're going into a trade, when you're creating your strategy, you need to know your exit plan. What is your target price? Okay, what is your target price? And that's the same thing when it comes to real estate and understanding this deal. What is your exit? Is your exit to own the property and generate cash flow for years upon years to then pass it down to children and create a massive real estate, residential and commercial portfolio? Fine. That's fine. That's an exit. All right. That is your A to Z. Okay. That is your strategy. Okay. Or is it, hey, I'm going to get this property and I'm going to own it for a few months. I'm just going to do a little paint here, a little cleanup here, bring in a cleaning crew, touch up the landscape, and then we're going to relist it for, an additional 80,000 because we're in a bull market and people and supply is low. Boom. That's your strategy. That is your exit. Okay. So these are some of the things you need to think about. Definitely on the most important things to know. Now, when it comes to understanding how cash flow is king, Grant talks about and tells us that positive cash flow enables you to stay afloat in unforeseen situations. It's kind of self-explanatory there. Positive cash flow enables investors to weather major shifts in the housing market. It gives you the ability to take action whenever you want. Some people may sit here and say, "Oh, it's not a good time to buy," or "How do I know what's the right time?" And and then you got a lot of people come in and say, "Hey, stop, chill out. You're trying to time the market, and that is literally going to be your failure." Like, do not time the market. Okay? Yes. Are there better times for you to make a move? No, there's not. The best time is now. See, that was a trick question. You thought I was going to go in and lead you. See, no. There is no good time. There is no best time. Get time out of your head. Don't worry about time. Okay? Because if you're concerned about time, you're never going to make a deal. You're never going to find a deal. You're never going to execute. And you're going to be on the sideline for the rest of your life, and it's going to be 30 years later, and you're going to be like, WTF, why didn't I make that move? And your kids are going to grow up, and they're going to look at you, and you're like, hey, I remember when you were little, and we used to drive around and look at houses and stuff like that. Hey, Dad, how come you never bought a house? Or did you? How come you never got that investment property or something? I'm learning about real estate right now, and a couple of my friends' parents, they're doing this, that, and the third. And I remember us talking about it, but nothing ever happened. So I was just wondering, do you want to have that conversation? Do you want to be the person that's just like, oh yeah, I knew about it, but I didn't do anything about it? Like, do you really want to be that one? I mean, if you do, cool. Own it. Wear your jacket. No problem. I'm not here to judge. That's God's job. That's what the Lord is for. Okay? I'm not here to tell you what's right, what's wrong. I'm not here to tell you on any of that. I'm just giving you some things to think about, because these are the things that I think about. I'm sharing it with you guys. All right? So apartments are a great example of cash flow, positive investments, obviously. And if it's not obvious to you, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It definitely is great cash flow. Think about it. Apartments. How many people live in an apartment building? How many people need a place to stay? So how many people are going to be paying rent in your apartment building? Okay? So think about that. Multiply it. Cash flow. Definitely apartments. Great example of cash flow. Positive investments. All right? Even when apartment values go down, your cash flow may stay consistent or increase. Yeah. So how are we going to tie this into mining? Because, all right, if you don't know anything about my channel, I talk about cryptocurrency, and I have a very small mining facility trying to expand out into our new location. But the thing about it is, everyone's concerned about the price of Bitcoin going down. All right, everyone's talking about, oh, Bitcoin is this, Ethereum is that, and the price used to be this, and the price is now, and you lost money, and blah, 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 blah. And I get it. Yeah, you suck because you lost money. But the thing about it is, from those that have been in this space, all right, and understand the technology and understand what levels to get in at, they're doing okay. And then you have those that are mining, okay? We're still earning passive income no matter what. Obviously, if the price is up, we're making more. If the price is down, we're making less. But at the end of the day, we're still earning, all right? There's never a time when we're not earning unless we literally turn off our machines, okay? I mean, yes, are there certain companies that have gone bankrupt? Yeah, some of them over-leveraged themselves and they can't afford the electricity to run their equipment. And that's partially why the reasons why I haven't made that big move into a facility yet. Because I need to build up a stronger foundation so I can make that move. So now, during the winter and the bear market, this is the time to do it. If I would have did it last year during a bull market, I definitely would have been in the red. All right? So something to think about. And then if you have positive cash flow and time, you will drive appreciation, okay? Another thing that also correlates into the Web3 space and cryptocurrency. This is about network mass adoption. This is a new technology, and it requires more people to participate in the ecosystem. And as more people participate in the ecosystem, as more people purchases and use and set up a crypto wallet, more people start using yield farming, dApps, decentralized applications, more people start buying nodes to create a node for the transactions, more people start looking at NFTs and real estate, more people start interacting with swapping and peer-to-peer marketplaces, all right? And as more and more people get into this, all right, the asset is a self-fulfilling prophecy, because inadvertently we are creating the actual value appreciation of it, because we're all part of the ecosystem and we're all creating that frequency, we're all vibrating on the blockchain, we're all using the blockchain, we're all using the technology, we're all talking about Bitcoin, we're all talking about Litecoin, we're all talking about Algorand, all right? We're all talking about smart contracts and yield farming and NFTs and real estate, all right? And we are Web3. And because we are Web3 and we speak with passion, other people look at this and they're like, man, what's going on over there? And they get interested, and then they start to find out a little bit more. And then once you understand that this is really about financial responsibility and financial ownership and ownership over your domain on the internet, you start to realize, wow, hey, wow, this is actually quite important. This is something I really want to do for my family. Imagine having a family domain, and your name is your domain on the web. And on the web, that is who you are, what you represent, what you do and interact. And people, instead of them going to like your Facebook profile that's owned by a technology, they would literally go to your family owned domain, okay? Your family's website. Hey, come learn more about the family. And you can keep it private, password protected, encrypted, where only whoever, only your family members can access it. Remember, you are in control over the domain. That's called top level domains. Oh, you don't know? Handshake, all right? If you guys want to learn more about domain ownership and how you can do that and create sub-level domains, there's so many amazing ways to use this technology, and I can't wait to share it with all you guys. I'm trying to share it. I'm just trying to find the right people to use all of this knowledge, skills, and abilities that I've obtained in Web3 to really excel to the next level. All right, how do you analyze cash flow of a property? Analyze cash flow within the following categories, all right? So we have revenue, we have expenses, non-operating expenses, and then capital. Under revenue, we have the rental revenue, rent potential, bad debt, and other property revenue, all right? So these are a couple things that that will start making you some money. Rental revenue, how much money you're getting in from your rent monthly, all right? Rent potential, all right? If the rent increases in value, or if the property appreciates in value, what type of rent potential increases are possible, okay? What kind of bad debt can happen on a deal, all right, with that revenue, all right? And then you have other property revenue too. Then we have expenses, okay? We have controllable net operating income, and then we have non-controllable net operating income. What does that mean? You're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. All right, let's kind of break it down real quick. So controllable net operating income. So let's see what it says. That's talking about payroll, landscaping, all right, contract services, utilities, decorating, repairs, maintenance, all those things like we were talking about, like repainting the place, marketing it out, admin, filing fees, paperwork, the process, the day-to-day stuff, all right? There's the net operating income, all right? There's gonna be all expenses because you gotta pay to do these things, all right? So they are expenses, all right? And then the non-controllable ones, right, are like management fees, insurance, property taxes, all these things that you have to pay no matter what, you have to deal with. So these are all expenses and they're non-controllable, okay? You don't have control over it. Then we have non-operating expenses, and that comes down to professional fees and debt services. It's really small category on it, but it's still something to be concerned about. And then last here, we have capital. We got land capital, building capital, FF&E. So that is a really good, it's kind of a good breakdown of cash flow of a property. I would do it a little bit differently, but hey, this is what Grant's provided, and gotta be thankful for the information and the things that he has done. Whether you like him or not, he's definitely created an extremely wealthy commercial real estate portfolio, and yeah, so it's generating billions of dollars, it's just, yeah. So, and this is a few examples of how to analyze cash flow. We're not going to go over these examples and these numbers because I don't want you to put you to sleep, and I want you to pay attention to the rest of this video. So then, all right, now we got to understand cap rates and debt coverage ratio. We kind of went into that earlier, but this is another thing. So debt coverage ratio is the point where your debt is covered by the net operating income, all right? Your debt is covered by the net operating income. What does that mean, Simon? I don't know what that means, bro. All right, so here we go. Let's make it quite simple. Okay, so let's go back to our 4-unit property. So 4 units, right? We were renting it out at $1,500. Okay, so that means we're making $6,000 on this property. All right. However, we still have a mortgage on this property, and our mortgage happens to be about 2,300. Okay, so we're gonna minus 2,300. All right, from that 6,000, and we're still in the clear of 3,700. So after we pay our expenses, our mortgage expense, all right, our mortgage payment, all right, we're still in the green. We're still creating positive net cash flow. So therefore, that debt, all right, the debt is covered by the operating income. Okay, so this debt coverage ratio, I guess they can calculate the percentage of how much is covered to how much you're actually profiting and blah 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 blah. But that's basically what it's getting at. Okay, so in a down economy, the debt coverage ratio determines whether you stay afloat or lose it all. How much is this going to increase? All right, so maybe you're like, whoa, 2,300. All right, but something happens and you're like, wait a minute, we can't rent this out for 1,500 no more for some reason. No one's buying it. There's something happened and rent drastically decreased to $850. That is highly unlikely, but let's just go with this for an example. All right, so times now, instead of your 1,500 that you were getting, for some reason you could only rent it out for $850, right? And then you're just like, WTF, 3,400. All right, so now that $6,000 you were making, now it's down to 3,400. Okay, so 3,400. All right, but we gotta subtract our mortgage. Still, that didn't change. We still have the high mortgage, so now we're at 1,100. Okay, and then, damn it, we got to subtract our the water heater blows up. Okay, now we gotta redo the water heater and the air conditioner. That's a $10,000 project, or not even. That's actually more than that. For HVAC and the water heater. But let's just see, the water heater goes up. I mean, it's a one-time cost though. Let's say the water heater goes up, it's about $4,000 or $5,000. Okay, minus 5,000. Okay, plus some other stuff that you got to do. All right, now we're down 3,900. Okay, so if the market's going down and then it's affecting your cash flow, and you're like, hey, this DCR is showing me other things, that's where you may say, you know what, we might have to say no to this deal. All right, so rule of thumb, NOI, net operating income, should be 25% more than the debt. So let's check that out. So let's see, 6,000 times 25%, all right, is 1,500. Okay, so 6,000 minus 1,500, all right, so I guess 4,500. Okay, so let's see, so we had 6,000 minus 2,300 was our mortgage rate. All right, so that's 3,700. Okay, so they said above 25% more than the debt. We are definitely 25% more than debt, because the debt basically, so 2,300 times 25%, that's 575. So let's say, so 2,300 times 2,300 plus 575. All right, so that's 28. So let's just say $3,000. But it's 2,875. So $3,000. Okay, and we were at 3,700. All right, so we were definitely above that the debt ratio. I believe that's how you calculate that. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section. All right, so the cap rate is NOI divided by the current market value of the asset. All right, so the cap rate is the net operating income divided by the current market value of the asset. So net operating income, all right, this is net operating income. All right, so 6,000 is our monthly income. All right, and then the current value of the house, let's see, is, well, we had a 2,300 mortgage, so what is that roughly? I don't know, 350 ish, 375. Let's say 375. All right, 375,000. So we're talking about now times 100. So 1.6% cap rate. I don't think that's good, right? Or is that, no? That's really good. Or is that bad? I forget. Shit. Well, hold on. Let me see. Well, let's say if we weren't, yeah, hold on, because if we were only doing, like, say if we were doing break even essentially, times, oh no, wait, not times, divided, 2,300 divided by 375 times 100, and then, yeah, 0.6%. Yeah, I don't think that those are good. All right, so you know what? Let's find out what are good cap rate numbers. Do we have that? These are important real estate terms. Do we have that? I know we have it in this book. It's definitely not in this section. Let me Google that for you guys real quick. What is a good cap rate percentage? Around 5 to 10%. So while a 4% cap rate indicates lower risk, but a longer timeline to recoup an investment. Okay. All right. So our 1.6% was actually really good. However, it still indicated that this was going to be a long time, a really long time before we really started getting the return on our investment, okay? Versus something at like that 5 to 10% might reduce the time frame to recoup your investments, all right? So solid information right there. And then the cap rates show the potential rate of return on investments, okay? And the higher the cap rate, the higher the return, and vice versa. I guess I should have just read number 6 instead of having to Google that. So what the heck did I just clicked on? All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, and then so we're not going to get into this. We're already at 37 minutes. This is super long. But either way, I hope you found value in this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you've learned a little bit more about how a deal works. So how a deal works requires you to know this last order of importance. You got to find the deal. Definitely got to contact the broker or the seller. You get control of the deal. Analyze it, all right? Figure out the financing. And then once you figure out the financing, you got to manage the deal, market it for sale, and then figure out how you're going to exit the deal. My name is Simon. This is an exclusive special edition of Cryptechology where we definitely talk about finding and going through the mechanics of a real estate deal. If you learned a little bit something, I appreciate if you hit that like button, hit that subscribe, leave some comments below. Let me know how you're feeling, what you're thinking, and don't forget, Litecoin, not financial advice. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay tuned for the next video. We're going to go over the SFP airdrop and the complete guide to Uniswap. If you want to get yourself a cryptocurrency hardware wallet, please use the description link below to get the SafePal. The profits and the proceeds from anything I make on that goes to helping me get a studio for this channel, and it helps me to fund expanding my crypto mining facility in my basement and out of my basement. All right, y'all. Thank you.